Hello, I'm Todd Prickett. I'm the Minister of Music at University Christian Church in Fort Worth, Texas, and we are so pleased to be back at Nuthurst after quite a few years. We started coming here in 1983 and have been here on at least 4 other occasions since then. We have ringers from the ages 14 to 18, and they are always very excited to come here to England and to ring handbells.
And my name is Russ Peterman, and I am the senior minister there at University Christian Church, and I am so grateful for the warm welcome that we have received from you all. You have gone over and above and made us feel so welcome and so at home. So thank you for allowing us to come and to be a part of this incredible congregation.
We were so excited to hear about the relationships that have continued over the years and across the ocean, multiple members of ours and yours that have continued relationships, and we hope we build some more relationships like that while we're here this time as well.
Over the course of the evening, you'll hear a number of different incredible pieces by our handbell choir and see a number of different techniques of ringing a bell. It's not just one single technique, but a number of various interesting techniques.
One of the reasons we started touring in England was because of our connection with the Whitechapel Bell Foundry. We play a 5-octave set of Whitechapel handbells, which is somewhat unique in the United States, but it is our trademark, and we are thrilled to have that connection. Even though the Whitechapel Bell Foundry has now closed in England, we're still very proud of that English connection. We play pieces from the sacred repertoire, hymn tunes that you may recognize. We play classical music, transcriptions of orchestral pieces, as well as pieces written just for this unique ensemble of handbells. And you'll hear the handbells play in very different ways, some short articulations, some long articulations. Sometimes they pluck the bell or use a mallet and strike the bell, and everything in between. It's a wide variety of things that provide a lot of interest for the listener. Ready, 1, 2, 91.
That's the order, down the chute, down the chute, down the chute.
I'd love for them, I want them all to experience that though. 2, someone else rings 3.
Just 3 bells that we got. There's 1.
1, 2, and 3.
And that's the toughie.
Yeah, that's heavier.
Yeah, harder though.
Welcome. Hello. Welcome. Thank you so much. Welcome. All right. Thank you. Adventure. Thank you. You're welcome.
Well, a very warm evening to you all. Thank you very much for coming. to our lovely handbell recital this evening. I'm sure you're all going to enjoy it very much. We've got the lovely handbell choir that have come all the way from Texas. It was around 36 years ago that they came before, and I must say they're all looking very good for their age. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ask Tony to come forward and say a few words about that original visit, because Tony was here for the original visit.
I've got here the brochure that we had when the Handbell Choir came to us in June 1987. But that wasn't the first link between our two churches, our two communities. If you go back in the history here, it all started in 1983 in June, when the first American tour came over here and stayed in our houses. There was a second one, I think 2 years later, organised by John and Mary Bowker. And then that was followed by a visit that we went across to America and stayed in the houses of our friends out there. And then last the Handbell team came across, and look what they did for us. The Yanks drop in to save St Andrews. I just want to say to the choir, I see the itinerary here says that you are going to ring in some beautiful places, but our rector once said, Nuthurst is the centre of the universe. If it hasn't happened here, it hasn't happened at all. So you're very welcome to come here. I think on the week that you've spent travelling around, you've probably seen there are a lot of name places associating towns and villages with links to French towns and to German towns. Well, there isn't one for Nuthurst, but in our hearts, in this church, our link is to the UCC at Fort Worth, Dallas. And it's a great treat for us and a tribute for us to welcome them here tonight. So just before they start to come in, let's give them a warm welcome, please.
such a pleasure this time to be traveling with two other members of our music staff at University Christian Church. You heard Janet Pummel on the organ during our processional, and you will hear her a couple of more times tonight. And next, our assistant conductor, Mimi Rogers, will lead them in the piece Compassion. We go to Canterbury on Sunday to play in the chapter house there. That is the one place we have been all 10 times on these quadrennial trips. David Flood, the choir master there, retired recently, so we had our fingers crossed, but we were able to finagle, is that an English word, finagle? We were able to finagle an invitation out of the new cast of characters. We will enjoy all sorts of trips next week to Warwick Castle, to Windsor, the Tower of London. We will see the Phantom of Opera at the West End, and we'll finish our time on a trip around the London Eye. So it'll be a wonderful week for them there. The next piece we have for you is another hymn tune. We call it Praise to the Lord the Almighty, that has the hymn tune named Lobe den Herren. We've probably played it every year since then. It's become our signature piece. We hope you enjoy Reverberations. Clearly I should have talked a little longer. As you see, they do a lot of things besides just simply ringing the bell. There are many techniques. Some of them cause the bells to have a very short articulation, a very short sound. Some of them are longer. Some are very percussive. Some are a little more mellow. So we'll just demonstrate a couple of these for you. I'm waiting for somebody who's ready. Are you ready? Okay, so Ethan's going to show us a few things here. First, would you show us a pluck and a ring touch and a mart. That's short for martellato. A martellato lift. Try again. It's better on the bigger bells. Eric, show me a martellato lift. Again, no, let's let Eric again. Owen, a loud. There we go, very loud. And Emerson, mallet. So all sorts of different sounds that you've been hearing. And finally, we do have hand chimes. Karis, would you play a hand chime for us? Those are not made in Britain. Those are American, I'm sorry to say. It's a nice blending of our cultures. Next, we have for you joy and celebration. African-American spiritual for you. Joshua fit the Battle of Jericho. And after we finish, please feel free to come up and speak with the ringers. If you have questions about the handbells, if you even want to pick one up and ring it, they will show you how to do that very gracefully. And we'll make you handbell ringers yet. And if not, at least they'll let you maybe pull the cords. On Sunday.
On Sunday, 3 ringers.
3 ringers, they need you, so step lively. Thank you again so much for having us here. We are so grateful for this relationship and our continued partnership across the pond. Bless you and your congregation. We hope you've enjoyed the concert. Thank you so much.
As well to you all, the concentration and the physical exertion. I made sure to go and have a sleep actually, and the music was absolutely fabulous. And I do hope that we're not going to have to wait another 36 years before you come back, because it was absolutely amazing, completely fabulous, and just bless you all, bless your music, bless everything that you do in the future, because you're just such a terrific bunch. Thank you very, very much. Thank you for your visit. Let's give them another round.
Yes. And do they get affected by temperature? Do they a different pitch?
They might, but as far as I know, they don't.
Smaller, higher bells, we use rubber hammers that make the actual noise when they hit the inside of the bell. But on a bigger bell, we use leather on the hammer because these are will crack if you use the rubber. And it makes a very different noise. And then we also have chimes, which are American made, and they work kind of like a tuning fork and have a very interesting noise.